Welcome back to live flag-to-flag coverage of the Daytona 500. The Motor Racing Network is with you. If you're just joining us, you haven't missed a thing. In fact, now the pace car beginning to roll down pit road, 40 drivers ready to go. The 63rd edition of the Great American Race. Here's the numbers for you one more time today. Again, 40 cars, 200 laps, 500 miles. Stage 1 done at lap 65. Stage 2 at lap 130. Then a 70-lap run to the checkers on the high bank, wicked fast 2.5-mile Daytona International Speedway. And as the cars pull out behind the beautiful Corvette pace car, why don't we take a swing around this racetrack and bring in three more voices ready to go. We're going to start over in turn number 2. There, as always, from Barrie, Vermont, it is Dave Moody.
Thank you, Jeff Striegel. Good afternoon once again, everybody, from high atop turn 2, the Sunoco Tower, just outside the west end of this Daytona International Speedway. The lay of the land at this end, 31 degrees of banking. Will we see 2-wide racing? Absolutely. 3-wide racing? You bet. 4-wide racing? Well, we might, but if we do, we're about a 50-50 shot to see one of those multi-car pileups that happen from time to time here in Super Speedway NASCAR racing as well. We'll watch it all unfold from high atop turn number 2 as they exit out onto the Daytona Super Stretch. They'll come into the view of Milford, Delaware's Mike Bagley.
Thank you, Dave Moody. Good afternoon, everyone. Positioned on a platform on the inside at the end of this Daytona Super Stretch. 3,000 feet of backstretch separates the exit of turn 2 to the entrance of turn 3. And here it's all about the draft, and more so the side draft. We've seen this building all week long. Driver will be side by side. They'll slide up, try to just barely make contact, and then quickly pull away to try to slow that other car down and themselves get a launch forward. Sometimes it goes good, sometimes it goes bad. And as Dave Moody just mentioned a moment ago, when it goes bad, that's when all heck breaks loose and we see these multi-car pileups that we tend to see from time to time. It's always a thrill covering the Daytona Super Stretch, and we'll cover it all for you again, high atop a platform at the end of the inside of the back straightaway. When they clear my broadcasting position, it'll be back up into the banking of turns 3 and 4, where they will race into the view of Kyle Rickey of Killingley, Connecticut.
All right, thank you very much, Mikey, and good afternoon, everybody, from the Sunoco Tower, just to the outside of turn number 4. This, the east end of the Daytona International Speedway, also has 31 degrees of banking and wide enough to accommodate those drafting lanes, which often race at 2 and 3 wide, something that takes your breath away each and every lap. Now, once off of turn number 4, that 31-degree banking falls off to just 5 degrees onto the front straightaway. It's been a trouble spot so far this week, as the handling of the cars are really upset when the banking falls away. We've seen some close calls there already this week. Hopefully not too many here this afternoon. It's a great day for racing. We'll have it all covered through turns 3 and 4 for this 63rd annual Daytona 500.
Once they clear turn 4, it's about a 3.5-second sprint down a short straightaway, back to the 18 degrees of banking that is the famous tri-oval and the start-finish line at the World Center of Racing.
Okay, set it down over there and then go to bay 5.
Indeed knows unexpected growth can stretch your business thin.
We need to keep going to finish.
Like Amir's warehouse. To expand capacity, he needs to get started hiring right away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post. Terms and conditions apply.
When you're on the go, missing the side-by-side action at the racetrack isn't a problem.
Here comes Logano on the high side. He drives it deep into turn number 2.
Motor Racing Network brings the NASCAR race to you, wherever you are, so you don't miss one lap of the excitement.
Denny Hamlin has won the 61st edition of the Daytona 500.
You are the man, D8.
The power of radio to the imagination of the listener. Tune in to the Motor Racing Network. Visit MRN.com for an affiliate list in your local area.
From Daytona International Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
I'm Mike Bagley with the Motor Racing Network. To get the most out of your race experience, you need racing electronics. With the Racing Electronics Scanner Rental, hear uncensored communication from every team in the race, or tune in to hear the live radio broadcast.
We are the champions! Yes!
New in 2021, all racing electronics rentals must be purchased in advance online at racingelectronics.com, as no walk-ups will be allowed. Don't forget to rent early. Head over to racingelectronics.com to secure your weekend rental today.
Looking for something a little different? Cut through all the noise with the MRN Out Loud podcast every week.
How difficult is it to get a bunch of racers to agree to anything and to stick to it?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not really sure how they pulled that off.
I'm Woody Kane. Join me every Thursday as we get between the ears of NASCAR's most interesting characters.
You said, I don't plan to be just an absentee owner.
No, this is going to be my job.
MRN Out Loud drops every Thursday wherever fine podcasts are downloaded.
Just another lap or so before we get this Daytona 500 underway. So let's get a final thought from pit road before the drop of the green flag. This report from pit road is presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Steve Post.
Well, Alex, as Woody Kane referenced in our pre-race show, the stages today, 65 laps for stage 1, 65 laps for stage 2, and 70 laps for stage number 3. The fuel window is about 41 to 42 laps, so we will have pit stops during each stage of this race, and just a matter of when. A caution will certainly dictate that, but a green flag pit stop is likely to happen here, at least one, maybe two, maybe even three here this afternoon. That's the story on fuel. For the story on tires, let's go to the midsection and Dylan Welch.
Yeah, and as far as tires go, Steve, I think it kind of depends on when you pit. If you pit under green to save some time, you may just do fuel only or 2 tires. If you pit under yellow, you'll probably have the time, so you may as well take 4. But that's kind of the strategy. They don't wear very much. It's not like new tires make as much of a difference as they do at other racetracks, so spending as little time on pit road is the name of the game down here. That goes for both fuel and tires. Now to the head of pit road and Kim Kuhn.
Thanks, Dylan. Well, 200 laps, 500 miles. That means, to Steve's point, a lot of pit stops and a lot of opportunities to make mistakes, starting with how you transition off the racing surface onto pit road and hit that pit road speed of 55 miles per hour. Now, we saw it cause a big wreck in yesterday's NASCAR Xfinity race. Making your way onto pit road can be a challenge here, especially during the green flag stops. Also, drivers need to watch their speed on pit road and be careful not to slide through their boxes. We see these penalties every single year. However, if you do find yourself with a penalty, Daytona is one of the places where it won't necessarily ruin your day. We'll have you covered on all the storylines down here on pit road. Now back to the booth for the start of the Great American Race.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get guaranteed low prices and excellent customer service at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
Rusty Wallace, at one point, weren't we all a race fan? That is either watching on TV, listening on the radio, here in attendance. And if you don't have goosebumps right now, I guess you're probably not much of a race fan, because I think everybody listening, watching is just loaded with anticipation. There's just nothing like the Daytona 500.
We've been waiting for this for a long time. Everybody is jacked up. They're ready to go. I'll never forget 1976, my father and I hanging on that fence down there, watching that race where Richard Petty and David Pearson wrecked on the last lap, and Pearson come by to win that thing. That was my very first Daytona 500 to witness in person. Never thought I'd be up here in the booth announcing the Daytona 500, but what a race we're going to have today. It's going to be fantastic.
Absolutely is. The pole sitter, Alex Bowman, has opted to start the race on the outside lane. And after his teammate William Byron, who had to go to a backup car, dropped to the tail end of the field, Austin Dillon slides up in the famed number 3 car to the inside of the front row. Pace car makes its way through turns 3 and 4. Eyes on him as we wait for the start of the Great American Race and to call the start of the 63rd running of the Daytona 500 from Grand Rapids, Michigan for the Motor Racing Network, Jeff Striegel.
Crowd on their feet here at Daytona. Why not? All eyes right now on the pace car. Kip Childress will take that car to pit road, and now it's Alex Bowman in control, the 27-year-old driver out of Tucson, Arizona. 40 cars come down to the line. They call it the Great American Race, and the green flag is in the air, and we're running the 63rd annual Daytona 500 up through the gearbox speed building, and Alex Bowman out front, headed to 1 for the first time.
Bowman gets away with the lead. He will immediately drop down to the low groove, across the nose of the Austin Dillon machine. Now back up the track in front of Kevin Harvick. Bowman with the lead off 2.
Now here comes Austin Dillon. He'll lead the inside line. Couple of Chevrolets up front. Austin Dillon downstairs. You've got Alex Bowman topside, who gets a huge shove from Kevin Harvick into the lead in 3.
Kyle Busch right there in the 3rd spot, and all 3 will move to the bottom of the racetrack, led by Alex Bowman. Car length in hand over Kevin Harvick off turn 4.
Right in the middle of the racetrack, down the short straightaway. Harvick 2nd, Kyle Busch 3rd. Lap number 1 is in the books. Pole sitter Alex Bowman with the race lead. Kevin Harvick breaks out of line. Harvick wants the lead in 1.
Harvick will dive to the inside line, puts a wheel underneath the Alex Bowman machine, but he's not got drafting help. It's 2 car lengths back to Eric Almirola, and Harvick now begins to fall back. Here's Bowman back to the lead off 2.
As Kevin Harvick moves to the bottom, Kyle Busch will fill his whole top side, and it's Bowman, Busch, now Austin Dillon. Busch and Dillon going top side, right behind race leader Alex Bowman.
Well, Stewart Haas Racing Fords find each other on the bottom, led by Kevin Harvick. Drafting help from Eric Almirola as they make their way back to the inside of race leader Alex Bowman.
In the 150-mile qualifying races, Alex Bowman's number 48 car had a lot of problems, hit pit road many times. The car was missing, vibrating, all kind of things going wrong with it, but they got it all sorted out. And right now, from my viewpoint, the 48 car, Jeff, looks really good right now. I don't see a problem with that 48 currently.
No, not at all. And they're running side by side, but right now a very special lap here at Daytona.
Yep, once they get back around, lap number 3 will go on the scoreboard. 20th anniversary of the loss of the great Dale Earnhardt. The fans in attendance, all standing, all with 3 fingers in the air. Every pit crew member on pit lane, 3 fingers in the air. The scoreboard at Daytona has number 3 all the way across, lap number 3 of the Daytona 500 in memory of the late Dale Earnhardt.
And we have 1 car in the wall, and we're going to see the yellow flag as the field comes rocketing across the start-finish line. Kyle, right at your feet. It may have been Daniel Suarez. I don't know. We'll check that. Garrett Smithley is the driver that has hit the outside retaining wall. Actually, that's Derek Cope now after a further review. The right side of that car completely taken away. Kyle, did you get a look at it?
Yeah, it was 1 car up and into the outside wall, just out of my view, entrance between us and the outside lane. Hard to see a number on that car, but I do believe it was Derek Cope. Just got out of the groove off of turn number 4. Once he got into the outside safer barrier, had a tough time getting off of the wall as the rest of the field passed by to his inside.
What about irony? 1990. Derek Cope won the Daytona 500 going into turn 3 of the last lap when Dale Earnhardt, the race leader, had a tire go down. And here on lap number 3, we have Derek Cope in the fence. Caution on the speedway for the first time.
Leave your sister alone. You're ready to get back into yoga, so you order the essentials. A non-slip mat, yoga blocks to keep balance, and an exercise ball. And you use your Bank of America Cash Rewards credit card, choosing to earn 3% cash back on online shopping and up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member, which you put towards your most essential yoga gear. Noise-canceling headphones.
Welcome. Take a deep breath. Breathe.
Apply for yours at bankofamerica.com/more rewarding. Copyright 2020 Bank of America Corporation.
Join the Motor Racing Network every Tuesday night for NASCAR Live. Get the latest news and exclusive interviews from the biggest names in the sport.
We're not going to build an empire in 3 months, but certainly we have visions in the years to come to build this into a big organization.
Hear the thoughts and opinions from NASCAR insiders and much more.
That may be some of the best driving Brad Keselowski has ever done.
It's NASCAR Live every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern on the Motor Racing Network.
Pit lane remains closed for the moment, so we'll step away and grab a quick break from Daytona International Speedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Grassroots Racing. It's where I got my start and what we talk about on NASCAR Coast to Coast. I'm Hannah Newhouse. Join me and Kyle Rickey each week as we talk with drivers from NASCAR's National, International Touring Series, and your local NASCAR track. Kyle talks with the Wheel and Modified Driver of the Week, and we give you all of the latest news and race results. You can watch on MRN.com, Facebook, or YouTube. You can also subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcast platform. NASCAR Coast to Coast, grassroots racing coverage you won't find anywhere else.
He's one of NASCAR's all-time greats, The kid who took on the good old boys and changed NASCAR.
Jeff Gordon races back to the checkered flag.
If you can drive a car out of control like that, I thought this kid's going to be a star.
MRN presents a 10-part podcast series that traces Jeff Gordon's rise to NASCAR legend.
Would he win again? The answer is yes. He'll win at Martinsville.
Jeff Gordon, the colorful career of the Rainbow Warrior. Available now at MRN.com and your favorite podcast source.
Back here at Daytona, we look at the entrance to pit road. Green light has just been illuminated. Pit lane is open, Jeff. So even though we're about to complete lap number 4, we've only ran a couple of laps under the green flag. What do you think? Do you think it's too early for somebody to come in?
I think it is, unless you happen to be right behind Derek Cope. Steve Post was telling us that he did see some movement from some of the teams he's following towards the tail end of the field that may have gone through debris. And the postman was spot on, and here comes some of those towards the tail end that include Bubba Wallace, William Byron, Matt DiBenedetto, and others. Dylan Welch, we'll start with you first. Here we go.
A lot of these guys were at the back, so they have nothing to lose. Just come down here, top off on fuel, and you can never have too much of that. So Bubba Wallace indeed in, William Byron in, Matt DiBenedetto in, Anthony Alfredo in, all of them taking fuel only. Bubba Wallace still on pit road, crew checking the left rear. Steve Post.
Fuel only for Martin Truex Jr. and a quick swipe of the grill. So also concerned that they might get a little damage or a little debris on the grill. So he was in with that call. Kaz Gralla was in down here. Denny Hamlin in on pit road as well. And let's see, I think that's it for down on this end of pit road. Kim Kuhn.
We had Michael McDowell, Chase Briscoe, Brad Keselowski, Cole Custer all in just for a quick drink of fuel on those race cars.
And that's just a handful of the drivers that opted to come to pit road here early on under caution for the first time after Derek Cope got into the fence in turn number 4.
Denny Hamlin's multiple Daytona 500 wins may have ended at the track, but for Toyota racing fan Kevin Samuels, it was just the start of what he calls Daytona in the dark. Now he speed reads bedtime stories, only to head out on the empty nighttime streets in his Camry to become the laps leader in his neighborhood roundabout. That's how it all began for Kevin. To kick off this season, share your hashtag Toyota fan stories on Twitter. Toyota, let's go places.
NASCAR is a registered trademark of the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, LLC. Daytona 500 is a registered trademark of the International Speedway Corporation.
Sir, are you aware you were going 40 miles an hour? This is a residential area.
Sure, but I'm on my lawnmower? Wait, am I getting a ticket?
No, I've just never seen anyone top 9 miles an hour on one of those bad boys. And mow their entire lawn in 30 seconds? What got into you?
Well, it did fuel up at Sunoco this morning.
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. We've been doing it for American racing for over 50 years. Fuel your best.
Signal given, 1 to go. Go back, green flag racing from Daytona International Speedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
On your ride home, catch NASCAR Today to keep up with the latest.
Heck, it's always changing, it seems like, in NASCAR.
Every weekday, you'll hear from the top newsmakers in the sport.
I think it sounds really, kind of cool.
Plus, some fun peeks behind the scenes.
Bedtime is kind of like last lap around Talladega. Guaranteed chaos. Somebody's going to go away mad.
I'm Chase Elliott. Listen to NASCAR Today every weekday right here on the Motor Racing Network.
Wing Nation TV presented by Sage Fruit. This is Steve Post. Join Ashley Stremme and I as we talk with sprint car racers, legends, and newsmakers from dirt tracks around the country. Saturday morning on MAV TV and part of Wing Wednesday on Rev TV in Canada. We'll take a look at the tweet of the week and discuss the latest sprint car happenings and news. Wing Nation TV, you miss a week and you'll miss a lot.
field works into turn number 3 quickly. Dylan Welch. Bubba Wallace, extended stay on pit road.
And he had some damage to the left rear, kind of in the wheel well area. It was crinkled, and then where the back bumper cover meets the quarter panel on the left rear side was some damage as well. So obviously made some contact with somebody out there. It didn't look too significant, like it was going to be any sort of aero hindrance or anything, but definitely made some contact with somebody out there.
Well, he was a fast mover early on. He had come from the rear of the field all the way to 20th, and he's going to have to do it again. But he's got company back there because Denny Hamlin has elected to fall back and run back there as well. Brad Keselowski's back there. He got some good cars. All right, here we go. Lap number 7. Pace car coming to pit road. Up front, Kevin Harvick and Eric Almirola.
To the Geico restart zone they go. Green flag goes back in the air from chief starter Joey Aycock. It's Kevin Harvick from Stewart-Haas Racing. He'll cross over in front of his teammate Eric Almirola right on the bottom double yellow line.
That'll open up the outside lane for a potential challenge. Ryan Newman will take that job with drafting help from Joey Logano. Right behind Logano, third in line in the high groove is Ryan Preece. Here they come. Ryan Newman looking for the lead.
4 Fords in the first 2 rows of the Daytona 500. You got Kevin Harvick downstairs. You've got Ryan Newman upstairs, and Newman's getting all he can take right now from Joey Logano. Logano will push Newman to the lead.
Momentum built to the bottom. He has drafting help from Eric Almirola. It's Harvick to the front.
Kevin Harvick on the inside, Ryan Newman on the outside, Joey Logano right there, Eric Almirola right there. They come across the line, give the advantage to Kevin Harvick, 2 by 2 by 2, all the way back through the field.
With no offense to Kevin Harvick, there are an awful lot of Ryan Newman fans in the infield here on the inside of turn number 2. They were standing and cheering when he went to the lead last time by. This time, though, it's Kevin Harvick on the point.
Ryan Newman now will race in a side-by-side battle with Eric Almirola. That's for position number 2. Harvick now runs against the double yellow line at the bottom of the racetrack, and Almirola shoves him further out in front.
Christopher Bell, third car on the inside lane, and moves up to that third spot. Then the side-by-side racing resumes with Alex Bowman to the inside of Ryan Newman for fourth.
One of the fastest cars all week long has been Eric Almirola in second place right now. We watched him in the 150s, ran so well, looked good in practice, qualified well. This could be his day because that car is stronger than I've seen in a long time, and it's been solid all through Speed Week.
Eric Almirola, of course, from Tampa, Florida. That's a town that's celebrated an awful lot as of late, with the Buccaneers winning the Super Bowl, the Lightning winning the Stanley Cup, and of course the Tampa Bay Rays having a great run in Major League Baseball. The field works down the Daytona Super Stretch. Jeff Striegel, Kevin Harvick, and Eric Almirola. This field was getting after it a little early on, but it looks like now the manufacturers are starting to find each other to find some drafting partners.
Right now the Fords have hooked up on the bottom of the racetrack, those manufacturers that you're talking about trying to work together, and it's always good to have a teammate with an oval blue or a bow tie running a Toyota working together. Right now, Dave Mooney, let's follow him. It's Harvick, Eric Almirola, Christopher Bell, Alex Bowman. That's your top 4.
The bottom lane beginning to get the advantage. Christopher Bell rides in, or Alex Bowman rides in the 4th spot. Kyle Busch is 5th. Here comes a challenge to the outside. Austin Dillon moving up.
Austin Dillon now will pace the outside line, and they are 2 and 3 wide behind them. One driver in 3 wide territory. That's Ryan Blaney, although he does have help from Kurt Busch and Tyler Reddick.
Second car in the outside lane is Kyle Larson. Further back, Ryan Preece steps out of line. He's going to make a 3-wide battle just outside of the top 10. Has drafting help from Daniel Suarez.
Long race car for Ryan Preece from the JTG Doherty stables. He's on that outside lane. Suarez tries to give him an assist, trying to push him forward. They're just outside the top 10.
Here they come, trying to forge their way into that outside lane. Now Alex Bowman is going to jump up high into the second groove. He'll pull into a side-by-side battle for the number 2 position with Eric Almirola.
Austin Dillon right behind him as well. So the pole sitter for the Daytona 500 hovering in the top 5, and now he's the maestro in the outside. Austin Dillon there, Kyle Larson, and Ryan Preece is on the move as well.
They are lined up topside, as is Daniel Suarez. 3 wide racing behind them. Ryan Newman stuck in the middle. Eric Jones to the inside. David Reagan topside.
One car I was a bit worried about was a Bubba Wallace car to Michael Jordan car, number 23. That car started in the back after some damage on the left rear quarter panel just a little while ago. Thought that maybe it might get a little smoky in there because it's touching the tire, but it looks like the boys got it cleared away real good right now. But then when he started, I looked like he might lose the draft a little bit, but now he's caught back up with Ross Chastain as they come off of turn 2. and it looks like he's going to get back in the draft and be okay.
Mike Bagley, they work over in front of you.
One driver in the middle and going back, Joey Logano. He's trying to hang on to his spot inside of the top 10.
Here comes the champ to his inside. Chase Elliott, that Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet, to the inside of Joey Logano. Side by side for position number 9 now with Ryan Preece.
2 by 2 by 2, then you get back to 3 wide, 3 rows deep. In other words, they are racing very hard. Steve Post, weigh in on this, because if we go all the way back towards the tail end of the field, we find the 2-time and defending Daytona 500 champion running back there. I have a feeling he's thinking, it's early and I'm not about to wreck this race car.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, he did pit there on lap number 5. He was concerned he might have ran over something out there, and looking around things, the car was fine. He found himself in the back, and he feels real comfortable back there.
Whoa, trouble back straightaway. Now Eric Almirola gets turned. Shit. You've also got others crashing and colliding. Alex Bowman is in it. You've got Matt DiBenedetto, Ryan Blaney, William Byron, Martin Truex Jr., Tyler Reddick. They're sliding through the grass mud, flying everywhere. A massive crash off the end of the back straightaway that probably has almost half this field collected.
Wow, Martin Truex Jr., Matt DiBenedetto, pole sitter Alex Bowman is torn up. He's stuck down in the mud down there. Jamie McMurray's got a big piece of this crash as well. Also, Tyler Reddick, his car is beat up. That is headed for the junkyard. A lot of cars wounded or stuck down there, including Eric Almirola. Back to the backstretch and Mike Bagley.
And that's where the accident started, Alex. Eric Almirola, I believe, got a push draft that went wrong, and it hooked him, and it turned him right up into Alex Bowman. Those two cars got collected, made contact with the outside wall, and then everybody came sliding and piling in. They had absolutely nowhere to go. Track was completely blocked, and then when these cars made its way down the banking, they began to slide into the infield grass, and that's a muddy enterprise with all the rain we've had here in Daytona this week. Mud is strewn up on the banking. Cars are fasted in the mud down here. It's going to take them a while to get them out, but wow, a multi-car crash to start the Daytona 500.
I don't think that's what a lot of these drivers were thinking about when they took the green flag just 14 laps ago. We're going to get a chance to look at it on a monitor, then we'll recap, figure out how many cars involved. We're up over 10, and I have a feeling there's even more.
Hi, friend. It's your home speaking, and I need some favors. Could you turn on some of the lights in the basement? I'm scared of the dark. Also, this one is easy. Could you bundle your home and car insurance with Geico so we could save money? Last thing, just a suggestion. Could you steam clean the carpets? I need a spa day.
Geico. For bundling made easy, go to geico.com today.
The new Michelin silicone plates last through everything.
On a world record-breaking drive from Alaska to South America in unpredictable conditions.
Thunderstorms, ice storms, they just don't quit.
Rainier Zeitlo chose Michelin Endurance XT silicone wiper blades with advanced Quad-Tech 4-layer coated silicone that repels water, snow, and ice and lasts 2 times longer than other blades.
It's coming down in sheets.
Real world proven. Extreme weather wiping performance. Upgrade to Michelin Endurance XT silicone wiper blades today. Only at Walmart.
Well, we were just talking about with Steve Post why Denny Hamlin was not running in that pack. Steve didn't get a chance to finish his thoughts, but I think we all know what he was about to say as it played out on the super stretch. We're up to 14 drivers. A lot of your favorites collected very early. No free pass, but when we do have a free pass, it's delivered by DoorDash. DoorDash, proud sponsor of Bubba Wallace. Every flavor welcome. Again, we'll come back and we'll recap just exactly what happened. From Daytona International Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
At Victory Junction, it's simple. We believe every child, no matter their diagnosis or disability, deserves the chance to just be a kid. So we provide a medically safe environment where children who live in a world of hospital stays and doctor's visits are free to do everything from riding horses, ziplining, swimming, fishing, and bowling, all at no cost to the camper. The experience inspires confidence, builds self-esteem, and changes the life of every child who comes here. Help us change a child's life at victoryjunction.org.
Looking for something a little different? Cut through all the noise with the MRN Out Loud podcast every week.
How difficult is it to get a bunch of racers to agree to anything and to stick to it?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not really sure how they pulled that off.
I'm Woody Kane. Join me every Thursday as we get between the ears of NASCAR's most interesting characters.
You said, I don't plan to be just an absentee owner.
No, this is going to be my job.
MRN Out Loud drops every Thursday wherever fine podcasts are downloaded.
Crash that's going to change the complexion of this year's running of the Daytona 500 for sure. An update on the cars involved in just a moment. It's growing. And what we know is this, Rusty, it happened at the front of the field, running second and third. Eric Almirola running second. Behind him, Christopher Bell. On the bottom of the racetrack, looked like Christopher got into the back of Eric, turned Eric around, and it was on.
This is just a classic bump drafting gone bad. Christopher Bell started bump drafting Eric Almirola, turned him sideways right into the wall, and the whole thing started. I got to tell you what, I was really concerned about this, guys, because everybody is so jacked up for this Daytona 500. We got a little bit of rain coming. That's in their minds. And they started getting after it down that back straightaway. And another wreck, a major one, in a straightaway. Usually we see these wrecks in the corners, but of late with all this bump drafting, it's been in the straightaways turning these cars loose.
So right now, as it stands, we're up to, 17 cars involved in the crash starting at the end of the backstretch. Those cars, Chris Buescher, Martin Truex Jr., Matt DiBenedetto, Jamie McMurray, Alex Bowman. Also out there, Daniel Suarez, David Reagan, Anthony Alfredo, Ryan Newman, William Byron involved, Ryan Blaney involved, Kurt Busch, Eric Almirola, Tyler Reddick, Eric Jones, those involved in the big crash, headed off into turn number 3.
That was my favorite, and my favorite, and my favorite, and my favorite. Yeah, you get the idea. We took out some of the sport's biggest stars in that crash way too early in the running of the Daytona 500, and now we are getting word from NASCAR that we need to bring this race to a stop on pit road. We have lightning in the area. The skies have darkened here at Daytona, and so NASCAR has instructed all of the drivers and the teams to follow the pace car, that Corvette pace car, onto pit road and shut them down. And unfortunately, the crowd here is going to have to disassemble as well, seek some shelter. Lightning in the area. Within 8 miles of the racetrack, if we get a lightning strike, we have no choice but to put it on pause. And, well, this has been a grinding or halting start to the Daytona 500.
No kidding, Jeff. If you just think about it, if these drivers would have been able to just hang on for another 3-4 minutes, we'd potentially not torn up so many race cars. But as it stands right now, it's a mandatory 30-minute hold when there's lightning within 8 miles of the racetrack. So MRN weather delay coverage, by the way, is brought to you by new Michelin Endurance XT silicone wiper blades. They're real-world proven for extreme weather performance, lasting 2 times longer than other blades. Only available at Walmart.
Everybody has a radar. Anybody that is in this country can pull up a radar and see what we're dealing with here in the great state of Florida. And there is certainly weather all around the racetrack. There's some out into central Florida and out onto the west coast. We do expect some of that to move this way. Our hope is, because it is tremendously scattered, that some of it will skirt us north, some south, and leave us alone. It's not raining at Daytona. I do knock on wood because there are certainly some cells around us. But again, just as a safety precaution, and one that has to be in play because you do have race fans here, and we don't want the race fan in danger. So we'll shut them down with Kevin Harvick. Christopher Bell got away unscathed. He's still second. Austin Dillon, then Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, Ryan Preece, Joey Logano was in it, but apparently he stayed, was able to get through there. And Joey Logano right now shows up 8th in front of Michael McDowell and Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
It's tough. It really is. So many race cars taken out there, and a lot of them that people had penciled in as winning the Daytona 500 today. That will not happen at all because of the big crash over there, as Mike Bagley described at the end of the Daytona Superstretch, headed off into turn number 3. But again, under the red flag right now, which means all the cars that came to pit road and the teams began to try to assess the damage and work on them, they have to stop working on them because of red flags. So you cannot work on those damaged race cars while the red flag is out.
All right, Rusty, I'm going to put you back in the driver's seat here, and you're going to drive a number of cars during this little back and forth deal. You've had a chance to see it now. I'm going to put you in the driver's seat of the 20 of Christopher Bell. What happened? What was going on? Take us through it.
Christopher just tried to bump draft the back of Eric Almirola. Now, when I watched it, it looked fairly normal to me. They were pretty well in line. He didn't scrape across the bumper and turn him sideways. But when he gave that last little straight jolt where he was just dead in line behind Eric, for some reason, it lifted Eric's back of his car up just a little bit, unhooked it, and it made a big-time right-hand turn. I don't think Christopher thought that he hit him the way he hit him, that would turn him. I don't think Christopher ever thought he would turn the 10 car of Eric Almirola and send him in the wall that way, but it happened. And that was part of my progressive keys to the race. I told these guys, we were talking about it. I said, look, everybody's got so much adrenaline flowing. Everybody's so jacked up. They just got to stay calm somehow the first part of this race, because we've been seeing a lot of wrecks in the straightaways. And we just saw it again a little while ago. This is becoming the new norm for speedway racing, where they get a little too aggressive in the straightaways and it turns the driver, upsets it, and they get in the wall. And I'm afraid that's going to continue. They learn from this, that's for sure. But I think that Christopher's going to go back and look at it and go, man, I didn't think I hit him that hard. I didn't think I caused this. But it happened.
15 laps are complete as we sit under the red flag. The field has been whittled down drastically because of the big crash. 40 drivers started the race again. Involved in the crash, 16 drivers. Some of those were able to drive away, so hopefully they'll be able to get those cars bandaged back up and get them back out on the racetrack.
So for now, we are going to sit and wait. We're in a lightning weather delay. Again, no rain at the moment, but we are under the red flag.
Every day, people experience mysteries that challenge the laws of nature, like enjoying a Coke Zero Sugar. It looks, sounds, and tastes delicious. But how does one explain the great taste if there are 0 calories and 0 sugar? Some mysteries are just too mysterious. Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Unbelievably delicious.
I'm Mike Bagley with the Motor Racing Network. To get the most out of your race experience, you need racing electronics. With a racing electronics scanner rental, hear uncensored communication from every team in the race, or tune in to hear the live radio broadcast.
We are the champions! Yes!
New in 2021, all racing electronics rentals must be purchased in advance online at racingelectronics.com, as no walk-ups will be allowed. Don't forget to rent early. Head over to racingelectronics.com to secure your weekend rental today.
If you're just tuning in, we are in a weather delay. We have lightning here around the Daytona International Speedway, and by rule, within 8 miles, NASCAR has to put out the red flag. They've done that. The cars are gridded along pit road, nose to tail, after a 14-17 big pileup that we had just moments ago. We'll get back with more, give you the very latest on the weather and where we're headed after this from Daytona International Speedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
If you suffer from heartburn or other digestive-related disorders, then there is a new, safe, better, and natural alternative to better digestive wellness and heartburn relief. Praxid not only provides relief of heartburn, but Praxid takes a 360-degree approach to support better digestion, protect you from harmful bacteria, and also balance your stomach to improve digestive functions.
We like to think of it as the multivitamin of digestive health.
It's the only product to combine all natural ingredients known for the digestive health properties into a single patented product. Praxid also comes in easy-to-carry packs. Praxid relieves, restores, and maintains a healthy digestive system. Praxid is available here for only $39.95. Shipping and handling is free, and your money back is guaranteed.
To take advantage of this special radio offer, call now 1-800-829-5688. That's 1-800-829-5688. Again, 1-800-829-5688.
Back at Daytona, waiting out Mother Nature. looking at the crash one more time, and Rusty Wallace sits alongside. You heard his thoughts on Christopher Bell, who got into the back of Eric Almirola, turned to Eric, and then we ended up with a 16-car pileup, and most of those 16 are done. And Rusty, what does it feel like? You've been there. You know their feeling. I look at Truex trying to win for the first time. I look at Eric Jones and Matt DiBenedetto knowing that they've got good race cars. William Byron, great race car, done. What is it? What can you put into words what they're feeling and going through right now, knowing that the event is over, 14 laps into it?
As a driver, you're just sick. I mean, right before this wreck happened, I was just getting ready to come on as they were exiting turn 3 and say, boy, look at Ryan Newman. Talk about a comeback after that big wreck last year. He's up front looking good. That number 6 car, Newman, was looking really strong, and now it's tore to smithereens, and just it happens that fast, and you're out of it. And you look at Alex Bowman, our pole sitter, he's destroyed. Oh, my gosh, there's just cars tore everywhere. The 12 car of Ryan Blaney, the right front fenders tore off. Now, that might be a car that could patch it back up and get going. And the reason I say that, I'll never forget the year I finished 3rd in the Daytona 500. My car looked just like that. I had a car, I got together in a wreck early, tore the right front fender all to smithereens, but through drafting, it was able to kind of mask that, and I was able to finish and had a good run. But for the rest of them, it's a tough one. I'm looking down at the field right now and taking a look at a lot of the cars. Some of the 22 Penske car, it's still going. Denny Hamlin's, he's looking good right now. Bubba Wallace, number 23, looks like he's okay. The Joe Gibbs teams look like it still got some good hot rods out there, and they're okay. Not so much for our pole sitter, William Byron. Alex Bowman.
Yeah, a lot of energy, a lot of excitement here in Daytona today. It's been electric all day long here at the Speedway. Mentioned Luke Combs put on a big concert here for the fans and everybody in attendance. It's been a fantastic Speed Week 2021. And when you look back at 2020, before the pandemic, things were in a great place for this sport of NASCAR racing, no question about it. As it is right now, it's even better. But in 2020, the Daytona 500, Denny Hamlin didn't know on Sunday if he was going to be a back-to-back Daytona 500 winner. He did find out on Monday.
Drivers, this is President Trump. It was an honor to open the Daytona 500. Have a phenomenal day. Have a great race. Be safe. God bless you. We love you.
Lights out. We're ready to go. The 62nd running of the great American race, the Daytona 500.
Pace cars away. 5 away. Ready. Green, 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 green.
Well, we've got a penalty already, and it was on Jimmy Johnson's team.
We've got a too many men over-the-wall penalty, so we will have to drop to the rear. Go ahead and check your belts and your wheel for me, please, to make sure all is well.
Clock, and William Byron gets served. He'll slide down to the inside of the racetrack. Matter of fact, he'll slam hard into the wall right at our feet.
It's hurt pretty bad there in the front, Chad. Stenhouse set down to block the 10 and ran into us instead. Did William block, or did he just swipe him? I think he kind of swiped him. I don't know if he was trying to save fuel or what, but the 47 got a big run towards us, and I don't know if we turned or if he turned us.
First checkered flag of the Daytona 500 will be green and white. It's waving at the start-finish line, and Chase Elliott will get there first.
In line, gonna be fine. All good, bud. Good job, buddy. Nice work. The fuel is close, so just watch your fuel and be ready for your switch. Copy.
Up front, Denny Hamlin will score his first stage win here at Daytona.
Look to the top, bottom's what's coming, bottom, roll out safe. Stage 2 winner, Denny Hamlin.
Right in the middle of pit road, somebody has left one of the fueling cans. Not sure whose can that is, but there's a fueling can in the middle of pit road. Dylan Welch?
Yeah, Posty, Martin Truex Jr. ran into it.
That'll be all right, man. We'll get back there. Maybe this will be a blessing in disguise. Maybe we should just hang out in the back for a little bit if you think that's safer. The only option now. Yeah, I think we do that.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr. went to driver's left. Blaney thought about a block, thought better, kept his car in the middle, and Stenhouse went below the double yellow line. And it doesn't matter if it's all 4 wheels. By rule, if you put the left side tires on the yellow paint and advance your position, you will be penalized. Black flag came out. Here's another black flag that's going to be put out again.
Pass-through penalty for passing below the yellow line. It's either crashing or not. Pass-through penalty all the way through. Pass through next time. Pass through has to be next time.
Jimmy Johnson looking to lead the Daytona 500, and he will do exactly that because a number of cars are going to come to pit road.
New leader, 48. 5 lined up in your mirror. All Chevrolets behind you. Keep it fast on the bottom.
Before I touched him with my left front fender, I'm not sure if we got any damage there.
Yeah, we saw it. Looks good.
Oh, trouble back straightaway. Brad Keselowski gets turned, and the field is flying apart.
Like the 10 hit us too hard. It looks pretty bad. It won't move. Yeah, you're sitting. The rear tires are off the ground. It looks pretty bad, but we'll see what happens when we get it rolling. Well, an effort today, boys. We'll go get them next week. Thanks, everybody. Great run down there, guys. Great run.
Front of the pack literally disintegrated. Jimmy Johnson is at rest over here at the entrance of turn number 3.
Keep trying to cycle it. Don't get out of the car yet till you get it fired. Yeah, don't get out. Tell me can we get dragged or not? Yeah, we can get pushed. Let's get pushed if we can. Don't let them raise the hood. Do not let them raise the hood. They need to push you. Probably just Phil. It's like the starter bin won't throw. We'll just get them to push you and get you to fire it up.
Who else? Who missed?
Martin Truex Jr.
Can we fix it? Steering wheel's pretty straight. If you keep going, keep going. I think I can keep going. I'm not sure how many flaps I got, but I got it. I don't know. I guess I'll keep going. Switch your gauges. I think I got all leak or something. Yeah, I think we just blew up. What's your oil pressure gauge say? Yeah, it's going down. That's 22 now, 21, 26, 28. Yeah, okay, wait.
Tell you what, guys, I was looking at Kyle Busch's car. Originally said he had a right rear tire going down. I believe I was wrong about that. It looks like it's an engine for the 18 car. We saw the smoke coming out of the right rear corner. He slowed down, went to the apron.
Smoking pretty heavy. I don't think it'll make it. Go home. 10-4. Don't oil the track now.
Priest to the outside of Hamlin and they're crashing. Logano is in it.
You okay? Yeah, get my breath. I'm coming to you. I'll roll around here. Yeah, make sure you have brakes. Make sure you have brakes and everything. It's pretty bad on the right side, guys. You have to pick up for sure if you got to jack it up. Get some tires on it here and cross the line. I got a lot of damage. I mean, I'm KO'd. I hit a ton.
Checkered flag is waving at the start-finish line. Who will get here first? Newman down. Oh, he's going to get turned. Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin across the line. Denny Hamlin will go back-to-back.
Keep coming. Side draft, side draft, side draft. Hell yeah! We got it! Holy shit, you're the damn man. You are the Daytona King, my friend. Nice work. Yeah! We got it! I hope the 6 is all right. It's a bad wreck, but we got it, man.
What a day it was. A year ago on a Monday, I think we all remember that race, 62nd running of the Daytona 500. Glad you're joining us wherever you may be listening to. We say hello and welcome to Daytona that, well, has now disappeared. I can't see the beach. I can't see the track. Alex, why?
Yeah, because there is a wall of rain that has moved in from our northwest, I should say. It's kind of making its way. Came from behind turn number 1, has absolutely covered the Daytona International Speedway. The team scurried out to the race cars, stopped on pit road, covered them up, and it is currently raining here in Daytona.
And right now, I can tell you I'm absolutely having no fun because this was supposed to be one of those days that was just going to work for all of us. We went through this last year. We all remember that. And it's like we get here, we get ready to go, and here we've got all of that. I'll tell you what, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back and reset for you. If you're just joining us, obviously weather delay, and now we do have rain moving in. MRN's weather delay coverage is brought to you by new Michelin Endurance XT silicone wiper blades. They are real world proven for extreme weather performance, lasting 2 times longer than other blades. Only available at Walmart.
Denny Hamlin's multiple Daytona 500 wins may have ended at the track, but for Toyota racing fan Kevin Samuels, it was just the start of what he calls Daytona in the dark. Now he speed reads bedtime stories, only to head out on the empty nighttime streets in his Camry to become the laps leader in his neighborhood roundabout. That's how it all began for Kevin. To kick off this season, share your hashtag Toyota fan stories on Twitter. Toyota, let's go places. NASCAR is a registered trademark of the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, LLC. Daytona 500 is a registered trademark of the International Speedway Corporation.
He's one of NASCAR's all-time greats. The kid who took on the good old boys and changed NASCAR.
Jeff Gordon races back to the checkered flag.
If you can drive a car out of control like that, I thought this kid's going to be a star.
MRN presents a 10-part podcast series that traces Jeff Gordon's rise to NASCAR legend.
Would he win again? The answer is yes. He'll win at Martinsville.
Jeff Gordon, the colorful career of the Rainbow Warrior. Available now at MRN.com and your favorite podcast source.
The monsoon just a moment ago is gone. Believe it or not, it literally has lasted, I'm guessing that passing rain shower lasted 3 minutes, maybe, but it certainly did soak the racetrack. But here's the good news. Yeah, I'm disappointed that we're not racing. I think we all are. I think the good news is the silver lining in the clouds above is it's going to move out of here today. We can continue to monitor the radar, and the radar is showing that the rain is going to move through, and we're going to go racing. If you are just joining us, 15 laps complete. Lap number 13, we had a massive 16-car pileup.
Yeah, we did at the end of the Daytona Super Stretch. Headed off into the banking of Turn 3. Christopher Bell, a good bump draft on the second-place car, Eric Almirola, but after one or two taps to the back bumper, the third one, well, that was too much. It sent him spinning, and that created the big crash, and that's put us then into a lightning delay, and now just a small shower came overhead. That is stopped already. From Daytona International Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Are you ready? To help children forget about their serious medical conditions so they can just be a kid. Then support Victory Junction, which is the dream of late race driver Adam Petty, who wanted to build a camp where children concentrate on fun and laughter, not illness or disability. At Victory Junction, kids enjoy ziplining, horseback riding, swimming, fishing, all in a medically safe environment, all at no cost to the camper. What do you say, Richard Petty?
Let's do this.
Learn more at victoryjunction.org.
When you're on the go, missing the side-by-side action at the racetrack isn't a problem.
Here comes Logano on the high side. He drives it deep into turn number 2.
Motor Racing Network brings the NASCAR race to you, wherever you are, so you don't miss one lap of the excitement.
Denny Hamlin has won the 61st edition of the Daytona 500.
You are the man, DH.
The power of radio to the imagination of the listener. Tune in to the Motor Racing Network. Visit MRN.com for an affiliate list in your local area.
Tony Stewart is going to win the Budweiser Shootout of 2001.
They keep making new versions of the Hans device, and I'm actually getting a helmet fitted up for one right now.
Coming down to the finish, though, it is Michael Waltrip trying to hold off Dale Earnhardt Jr.
As I exited turn 4, just what I thought was the case. I could just see a big red car in my mirror and some dicing in the back, and I felt
Dale Earnhardt gets turned sideways. He'll take Schrader. Earnhardt and Schrader are in the wall.
It was probably the most, and we lost our biggest car, and it really shook up everything.
Dale Earnhardt gets turned sideways. He'll take Schrader. Earnhardt and Schrader are in the wall.
And it really shook up everything.
Dale Earnhardt gets turned sideways. He'll take Schrader. Earnhardt and Schrader are in the wall.
And it really shook up everything.
Dale Earnhardt gets turned sideways. He'll take Schrader. Earnhardt and Schrader are in the wall.